So this isn't going to be one of my kind of upbeat videos of positivity and things like that. This is going to be a little bit more about me just exploring some stuff. And first of all, I want to start off talking about my recovery. So physically, good news, I am back to normal. I'm physically able to lift. I'm physically able to move properly. I can drum. I can play music. I can do all of that stuff, which is just wonderful. It's incredible to think back to when I literally couldn't get out of bed to now being someone that is out walking for quite a long time most days with Marge and doing proper mud walks and things like that in the rain and all of that kind of thing. It's great. From a mental health point of view, I'm really not in the best place. I think I have quite a big decision to be making over the coming weeks to try and make sure that I'm going to actually be happy in my life. One thing that I've realised at the moment is I am responsible for that. And if I don't take responsibility for that and expect it from someone else or anyone else or anything else, I'm going to end up probably being really unhappy. So this is probably going to be quite a short video as I explain this big decision. So on Monday, I went back to my day job, which I have not been particularly happy in for quite some time. That day job, when I first got it, was a real godsend. It got me out of a place in my life where I was in a job where I was being really badly bullied. And I must admit that this organisation that I work for now have really looked after me and made me feel valued and cared for, made me feel like I can do anything, which is great. The problem is the actual physical job that I do doesn't suit me. It's not something that I want to continue doing much longer. So one thing I have been doing is working on getting into a different side of that business, because the organisation itself is something I'm really passionate about. It's something that I have grown up with. It's something that I love. And the actual job itself is something that I found I've got a real interest in and something that I'm quite good at. And for a good year, maybe a year and a half, I've been working towards getting something permanent in that area of work within that organisation. There was a part of me that really believed that when I felt ill, that although that was a rubbish start to the year, it was for a reason, and that it was for the fact that I was going to be able to kind of jump into that role. But over the last week, as I started back in my normal day job, what I've realised is it's probably not going to happen. I can't tell you how gutted and disappointed I am about that. I get quite emotional about it because it's something I really, really want to do. But life doesn't always allow you to do the stuff you want to do. And I think on this occasion, that is something that I need to just deal with and move on from and look for something else. I'm currently at a bit of a crossroads because this is where I need to make that decision as to whether I wait around, whether I pursue that role, which I don't know how long that could be, and do I continue to do a job that does actually make me quite unhappy, or do I throw everything into this new business that I'm running and really take a big financial risk, a really big stability risk, and it's just trying to weigh up what is going to be best for me. One thing that I've really got to remember is on Sunday night, the day before I went back to work, I didn't sleep. I was so anxious and disappointed, and I don't want to say angry, but I was angry that I was going to have to go back to what I thought I'd overcome, and what I thought I'd gotten through. Doing a job that you really don't enjoy every single day is something that does take its toll on you. And it might seem like I'm moaning, and I'm very blessed to have a job, I know that. But honestly, it's hard to get out of bed to do that job. So to think that I was going to be able to not do that job anymore or start to work my way out of that job to realise that actually, no, I'm just back where I started, it's really disappointing and really difficult. I have wonderful people on my side within the organisation. The problem is it's not just their decision. It's also down to money and what's available. I also need to be able to pay my rent. So this is where it becomes a bit scary, because although I have to make sure I look after myself and that I'm not going to be miserable, I also have to pay my bills. So I have to make sure I do everything I can to make sure that everything is covered as much as I possibly can. Do I let my mental health suffer by doing this job knowing that my bills are paid? Or do I take a bit of a financial risk where, and I don't mean being stupid with it, I wouldn't just be like, oh, I'm gone. That's not how that works. I'm already doing 2 jobs and I'm exhausted. I would like to try and just do 1 job, but at the same time, that is also a lot of work to build up my business to the point where it is just a job that covers everything and my lifestyle. I just wanted to share with you guys that it's not all happy clappy all the time. I am dealing with something that I need to now make a big decision. Do I stay with this job and hope in the next couple of months that something happens, like I have done for a year and a half? Or do I just cut my losses and just put everything into the business and hope that that just takes off quick enough? I must say, like, the business has potential to take off very quickly. The only thing is, the job that I wanted in the organisation would be such a perfect job for me that having the business as a side project works really well. To have that as my sole job, is that really something I want to do? I mean, I do love doing it. I love teaching people to sing. I love teaching music. I love playing music. But is it something that I want to do full time? I need to figure that out. That's something I need to work out and understand. It also comes with the scary side of all the admin and making sure I run a business properly, making sure that everything's covered. And again, that living with anxiety and depression, that's something that I need to try and make sure that is not going to make me feel worse. I'm sure other people have had very similar decisions. I'm sure you've all gone through it as well, and I know I will get through this. But it's just something where I think now I'm physically better. This is where the decision needs to be made now, because I was so unhappy on that Monday morning. I was so down, and really felt like I'd taken back steps in my mental health going back, that this is something I can't ignore. This is something I have to explore and look at. I'm really sorry for rambling on, and that there's not a lot of cutaways, if any. I just wanted to share this with you. One thing I can say is I am really enjoying doing the YouTube stuff. If that took off, fair enough. That would be insane. That would be insane. But it's a long time until that would happen. But yeah, this is kind of just me being completely honest. And that if, you're only getting maybe 1 video a week of me gaming and stuff, that's just because I'm trying to figure out where my life's going. And gaming is a big part of it, where I can just sit back and enjoy doing that. And I do enjoy going on those adventures with you all. So I think next week's video will hopefully be more happy clappy. And we'll maybe do an episode 2 of Alan Wake, because I know I've had some really good feedback from that and that you guys really enjoyed watching me play that game. And if you guys believe in like spirituality or faith, please do pray for this situation. Just, that I make the right decision, and the right opportunities come along in the right way, and that things can get back on track and I can be moving towards something positive. Love you all very much, and I will see you in the next one.